Okay, now the next thing that we want to do in our cutting process is prepare the mat and position the fabric on the mat. So let's take a look at this other tool that we use for vinyl cutting. This is a cutting mat that is 8 inches across. It's a thin plastic. You can see it has an arrow on top. That's the direction that we feed it into the machine. It's covered by a piece of like teal paper, and this is to protect the adhesive that's on the mat. Now, I'm not actually doing this on the best possible surface because this is felt and it has a lot of pieces of fiber. Ideally, you want to do this in an environment where you won't have a lot of crumbs or a lot of threads that are actually getting potentially onto this adhesive surface. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off. Maybe I'll just try and scoot some things around. We're going to make do with this. We have about 3 mats in our locker that are available for you to use. So I'll pull this back and then I'll put this to the side. Try to make sure nothing gets on it. So you can see, you may be able to see there are like some scoring lines. Over time, mats will degrade, the adhesive will become less sticky, and will actually get cutting lines into the mat, which will make our cutting less effective. If you notice this after a cutting job, that's okay. If they're really deep, then you may want to change the blade size next time. And if you cut through the mat, please let me know so we can get a new one. Okay, so I know because the arrow is right here that I'm going to feed into the machine that way. I have positioned my circuit in my software in the top left-hand corner, so I know it's only going to cut in about a 3 to 2 inch area. So I have my piece of conductive fabric. This is the top side with no adhesive. This is the side that I just fused to. So I'm going to go ahead and position that piece of fabric in the top left corner. Okay. Now when I lay it down, I want to make sure that there's not too much on the side over here or over here. I want to make sure the fabric is completely sticking down. If not, then the blade might get caught, the fabric might get peeled up during the cutting process, and that's just no fun for anyone. Okay, at this point, you want to press the fabric down really well and get out all of the air bubbles, right? The other way that you can do this that I really like is with a book boning tool, or a folding tool. So you can just take it and get all of that air out. I'm sure there are other tools that you can use that would have a similar effect. Make sure you get all that air out, all right? And then we should be ready to go and feed this into our machine and start cutting.